up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management. I'm here with Brad Jacobs. He is my co-host for the MLS Betting Insiders. We are here for our Week 11 best bets. If you guys don't know Brad, he is a former top-level soccer player. He knows the game like few others, and that's why he is one of the sharpest guys out there right now. So I'm glad he is here. But before we get started, I got to tell you guys about a tool you need to add to your betting toolbox if you want to take the next step in your betting career, and that is the Rhythm app. Rhythm is going to teach you how to build predictive sports betting models using their AI-powered software. If you don't want to build your own, they have their own model already set that smashed March Madness. They predicted every single NC State upset and their loss to Purdue. They smashed the Masters and even predicted the Scotty Scheffler victory last weekend. So you need to check out the Rhythm app. They have been smashing. They're free to sign up. They have a 7-day free trial of their premium subscription. You need to try it. Sign up now. The link is below. Brad, welcome to the show. Are you ready to dig into this week's best bets?
Absolutely. What's up, Jacob? So excited to be here again for Week 11. Headed for 7 straight weeks of profit. So that's what we are liking to see so far. And we're seeing in the MLS right now, both teams to score has come in at 64% of the matches, and over 2.5 goals has actually shot up recently, and it's hitting at 61%. So we've seen a little bit more scoring lately. The both teams to scores come down just slightly, but over 2.5 is kicked up. So I think we're seeing some really fun soccer. I hate saying the word soccer, not football, but it is America. But I'm excited for Week 11 and excited to dive straight into it.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, if you guys don't follow Brad on Twitter, you need to. It's Bradley L. Jacobs is his Twitter. It's right underneath of his name. He gives out stats like that for leagues all across the world, and he smashes daily. If you haven't seen it yet, you guys have been missing out. So it's 7 weeks profit here, but it is a way more if you follow him on Twitter because he gives out free plays all the time that really do smash. He's one of my favorite soccer follows out there. But before we do dig into today's slate, I gotta tell you something. This weekend, I get to have a top level moment of my life. I have been wanting to do this forever, and I got this in the mail the other day. This is my New England Rev versus Inter Miami press pass because I'm going to see Messi from the field and the press box. They do a whole thing, and they put out a whole spread of food. They shuttle you to there. It's like the top-notch care from the Rev. Gillette Stadium does it like no other stadium does, but it is like the highlight of my life going to do this. I'll say I couldn't get an extra pass to bring Alana, my terrific wife, but I'm still going to have to go to the game because I got to go see Messi. So we're going to have to reschedule for the next one. But she usually comes with me to the games up there, but it is so exclusive to get into this. They're literally giving one pass per company or publisher that's going there. It's super hard to get this. I had to beg this dude Dan for probably the last 2.5 months to make sure I got this. So because I had it last season, the whole season, and this year I just wanted it for this one game. So I'll be at the game. So I'm actually going to save my Inter Miami New England picks for a special video that I'm going to do because I'm going to do my day at the Rev, and I'm going to do a behind the scenes video thing. And you get to go if you want to, you can go question the team and the coach and stuff after the game, the whole nine. So I'm going to do it up. And I don't usually do stuff like that. So pretty excited. But yeah, let's dig into today's best bets. I am excited to start. This is a great slate this week. So Brad, why don't you go ahead and take over with your first best bet?
Awesome. Well, Jacob, that sounds like a lot of fun. And
yeah, right.
Luckily on my slate, even though a lot of people might not be seeing your bets just yet, I actually have a bet on this game coming up here. So a little foreshadow to my second bet that I'm going to deliver. But my first bet, game on the slate, no surprise here. Nobody can be shocked at what I'm playing in this match. Austin versus Los Angeles Galaxy. I'm taking both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Well, why? Well, Austin, they've scored in 17 straight home matches coming into this match and 38 of their last 39 at home. So they love to get the ball in the net when they're at home. But they've conceded in 23 of their last 26 matches. And then Los Angeles Galaxy, they've scored in 19 straight, and they've scored in 24 of their last 25. So they missed one, but they came right back into it. Conceded in 31 of their last 35 league matches. So they're conceding, scoring, regular rate. Well, Austin, they're coming into this game hitting both teams to score in 12 of 13 at home. And Los Angeles Galaxy, they're coming in scoring or hitting both teams to score in I think it's 17 of their last 18, and combined um, over 2.5 goals, coming in at 17 straight at home for Austin and coming in at 17 of the last 19 for LA. So both teams to score over 2.5 goals. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. I think the Galaxy score multiple. I can see Austin scoring multiple. Should be high paced. For the line at 138, I think it's very comfortable.
Yeah, I'm glad you started there because I have a couple plays on this too. I am actually on Galaxy team total over 1.5, and Austin Galaxy both teams to score yes and over 2.5. Actually, I don't usually even play that. That's not, I usually scare away from that for some reason, and I just usually don't. But looking at these two, to go along with everything you just said, Austin has not only seen both teams to score in all 5 home games, but they've given up multiple goals in 4 of those. And the Galaxy in 4 of their 5 road games have scored multiple goals. So that's why I like that. And I think Austin's good for at least one. I could see Galaxy winning this. They are favored plus 135 in this. So, the books are liking Galaxy. So love that. I'm glad we're on the same page. What do you have up next?
Well, my second bet, I am going to New England and Miami. And everybody knows Miami's conceding at a regular rate coming into this, and I love both teams to score. However, that's not where I'm going to attack this match. New England, they're coming in. They've only scored in 2 of their last 5 matches, and they've conceded in 18 of their last 19. They're conceding in every single match, and they're really struggling to find the net. Well, they've actually not hit, or they've not scored 2 goals in coming in 10 straight. So that's important. Well, with Miami, they've scored in 33 of their last 41, and they've scored 2 goals in 7 of their last 10 matches. So right now, New England's not getting in the net, and Miami's finding it at a regular rate. Even though they're kind of conceding, what we're seeing is that if New England, if they're going to have to score 2 goals, most likely, what stats say, in order to overcome Miami. So I think that gives us a really sizable edge. Not to mention that Messi plays for Miami, who is arguably the greatest player to ever play. And New England coming in, they're one of the worst teams thus far. They're not putting in. They're just really finding it a tough time to put the ball in the net. They sometimes do create stuff, but there's not enough cohesiveness between the players in their attacking end. I think Miami should score multiple. Over 1.5 goals was plus money when I saw it. I think that this game could be pretty fun, and I hope and I think that Miami shows out. But I like Miami on the draw no bet line, and I got that at minus 152 on FanDuel, which I feel is like a gift.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to give out what my official is, but I agree with what you said. It has been kind of disappointing to see where New England's been at in the past few games, struggling on the road. Hopefully things will turn around for them here at home. And Miami has stepped up and has proven why, getting Messi and some of the other pieces they have was the right move and has been so successful for them. So I love that. So I know next up you have a play on Philly versus Salt Lake.
You got it. Philadelphia, we've had them before in Salt Lake. They're a team that we've been riding. Philadelphia, they've scored in 21 of their last 24 league matches, and they've conceded in 17 of their last 21 coming in. They've hit both teams to score in 16 of their last 21 matches. And they're playing at home to a team, Salt Lake, Salt Lake has scored in 22 of their last 24. They're pounding in goals lately. They look great offensively. They have some players that are able to change the flow of the game, and you really need that in the MLS. And Salt Lake, not only are they scoring in 22 of their last 24, but they've conceded in 20 of their last 23 away. So they like to score, and they like to concede when they're away specifically. But they've also hit both teams to score in 14 of their last 19 away matches, as you see, scoring and conceding. And then you take it a step further, and you look at these two teams and how they've fared against one another. Well, 8 of their 11 matches have hit both teams to score, including 5 of the 6 that Salt Lake has played Philadelphia away from home. So I like both teams to score, and I think 160 is kind of a gift. This one should be well over 200. We should be having to parlay this personally. So we'll take the 160.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that number, I jumped all over that. I have a play on that too. I'm on the both teams to score yes here. For everything you just said, I think Philly is Philly offensively is top notch. Defensively, I think they're mid-level right now, and I think Real Salt Lake has been showing out and has showed that they have put the pieces together to be able to score on pretty much anybody. I mean, they put up multiple goals on Vancouver, St. Louis, and Chicago. I mean, teams that are playing pretty well right now, and that's just their last 5 games. When we see them on the road so far this year, only 3 out of the 5 games have seen both teams to score yes, but we've seen them. I'm sorry. Both teams to score yes in the Minnesota and St. Louis game. So again, being able to put up goals on tougher teams like that, and I don't think Philly's defense is better than St. Louis's. I don't. But the other thing I am on here is the Philly team total over 1.5 at home. I think they're lethal. Last season, it's funny. Last season I played this like the first 6 weeks and it never hit. And I feel like I just have to keep firing on it to start this season too, because it's been good the first 2 games. They've shown that they can do it. Real Salt Lake has proven that they are capable of allowing multiple goals, especially on the road. And I think that Philly is, a shoe-in for the playoffs already. If you wanted to put a futures on it now, it wouldn't be a bad decision after seeing what they've done so far already this season. And I think that this season is the start that they were looking for last season. And I really like what they've been doing. So I'm all over their team total and both teams to score yes. Didn't take a side here. I think this could easily be a draw. I could see like a 2-2 draw here. But yeah, no side for me on this one. Next up, the LAFC versus Portland game. What do you like here?
No surprise. We're riding Portland. Both teams to score in Portland matches. They're coming in hitting in 17 of their last 19. But not even just that, they're scoring a number of goals in each match, which is what you really want to see. So sometimes when they only score one, it feels like a letdown, and that's what you want to see in a both teams to score. Los Angeles Football Club, they've scored in 15 of their last 18. They've conceded in 14 of their last 19. We've taken them before, but specifically why we want to go with BTTS, we'll come to that in a second. But Portland, they've scored in 18 of their last 19, conceded in 15 straight, and 21 of their last 22. Portland and LAFC, why we're going with both teams to score and not over 2.5. Over 2.5 is actually juiced more heavily than the both teams to score, which I find kind of surprising, because when you really dig in deep and you look at Los Angeles Football Club, they've actually only they've only gone over 2.5 goals in 3 of their last 38 matches without hitting both teams to score. So if they're gonna get over 2.5 goals, most likely both teams to score is going to come in. Not only that, Portland is coming in hitting at a regular rate. So yeah, I would be kind of okay with putting in that over 2.5 if you want to knock the juice down. But there is a possibility that this one could be kind of a stalemate with how we saw LAFC and Los Angeles Galaxy play a number of weeks ago. So I'm sticking with both teams to score, and we're riding the Portland Timbers.
Yeah, I love that. I got 3 plays on this one myself. I'm on the both teams to score yes here, minus 145. I am on LAFC Portland over 3, minus 110, and LAFC team total over 1.5, minus 200. I know, minus 200. I get it. But I didn't like them over 2.5, but I really like them over 1.5. And I'm the kind of guy who's okay to bet 100 to win 50. So, and you don't pay the juice when you win. So, one thing that I want to touch on is that these 2 teams did just play a couple weeks ago and had a 2-2 draw. But on top of that, the draws that we've seen from Portland so far this year just have been ridiculous. The kind of goals that they're giving up, but it's not just the goals they're giving up. They've been able to back it up by scoring just as many. 2-2 versus Columbus, which I found unbelievable. 2-2 versus LAFC. 3-3 versus Kansas City. A really close 3-2 versus Vancouver, and they were on the road in that one. And then they lost bad 3-1 against Philly. Those are their last 5 games. And we've seen LAFC multiple goals in their last 5 at home. It's been just about that. I think 4. Yeah, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their 5 home games that they've scored multiple goals. So I like all of that, and I definitely think we see over 3 as well. Worst case scenario, we push. I don't think LAFC's defense is going to step up at home. I don't think they have much of a defense. We haven't seen it. They allowed multiple goals to Red Bull at home, on the road to Portland, like I just said. LA Galaxy, they play a tough one. We all knew that I was going to see both teams to score, yes, though, and over 2.5. Colorado, they lost in Colorado bad 3-2, and then they did beat up on Nashville at home. But Nashville has been a letdown so far, so I don't give them that much credit for beating them 5-0. But yeah, those are the 3 plays I like here. I know that's all you for this week, but I do have quite a few more. So we're gonna keep digging into this week's slate, and I'll look for your opinions on my other plays. So I'm going back to the top of the slate. The Crew game versus Montreal. Crew minus 190 on the 3-way, -1, -118. Over under at 3 + 102. I took Crew minus 1 and Crew team total over 1.5. I just think that they are a dominant team. Crap, I just lost my page. Sorry. I think they're a super dominant team. And, Montreal has done nothing to impress me so far this year. They just drew 2-2 versus Orlando at home, but Orlando stinks right now. They've been a big letdown. They beat a weak Cincinnati team, and then other than that, they lost bad to Seattle, 5-0, 1-0 to DC United on the road, 4-3 to Chicago. I think Columbus has the pieces. They're at home. They've drawn their last 4 games, which is tough for them. I mean, they're getting points, but not the points that they want. They've won 3 out of their 5 home games. They drew the other 2. And I think that, this Montreal team just does not have anything that can stop Columbus at home right now. So I like both of those a lot. Thoughts for you on this one?
Should be interesting to see what happens tonight with the Crew as they play Monterey in the semifinals of the champ.
I think semifinals.
I think it's the semifinals. I like a bet in that game actually. So it should be interesting. I just want to see how they do. Right now I'm not touching the Crew. I think both teams to score might come in a lot of their matches right now because they seem to be a little bit leaky at the back, and as we know, they're very comfortable with scoring. So we'll monitor that. I want to watch how they play tonight. I'm going to see before I don't really have too much of a comment. However, their opponents, it's Vancouver or Montreal. I can't. Montreal. They've been a surprise this season with results, and I don't know if that's a good surprise, bad surprise. So we'll
sure. It's not a problem. Hey, and listen, it's okay if you don't have any thoughts on it. You can just say you don't. And I'm
they're
just
one of
asking
those
your
teams
opinion.
that I haven't figured out yet.
Sure.
I figured out a lot of teams, but the Montreal and Vancouver, both Canadian teams, are struggling to figure out.
Yeah, great stuff. So next up, Colorado is taking on Cincinnati. And, the Cincinnati team has really been a letdown for me so far this season. They've been, I would say, wishy-washy would be like the best thing I could say to describe them. They win here, draw here, lose a couple. We've seen both teams to score in the last 4. And they're taking on a Colorado team who's been playing, I think, above expectations so far this year. They've won 3 out of the last 5 games, drew 1, lost 1, but they've scored multiple goals in their last 4 against Dallas, San Jose. They drew Inter, which was great, and they beat LAFC, which is just, I think, really good for the team, good for the momentum, all that stuff. On the road, we've seen both teams to score yes in 4 out of the 5 games they played. The only other one that wasn't was a victory, a 3-0 victory against San Jose. So they were scoring goals, which is going to go towards my play here. I took Colorado team total over half. I took it. It's minus 190, a little juicy, but I didn't want to take both teams to score here because honestly, I'm afraid Cincinnati might not score. At home, they've been shut out twice so far at home, and that has given me like big pause in this. And they lost the home game to New York Red Bull, and like I said, they got shut out against DC United and Toronto at home. I mean, and the other one, they only had a 1-0 victory against NYCFC, so it's not like they're scoring tons of goals. So it was a concern for me. And at minus 190, I think it's a reasonable price and a reasonable thought to think that Colorado can score here.
I had a lean on this game, and it was both teams to score because Cincinnati has scored in 21 of their last 24, but they're conceding in 8 of their last 10. So they do kind of have both sides coming in. Colorado, I feel like, is really one of those surprise teams. They might be one of the best teams in the league, but it's still early. They've kind of figured out more than a lot of the other teams. Cincinnati, they have some of those personalities we like to see to get on the net. Kind of like both teams to score, but I just really sat on the fence and I couldn't commit to it. And it might be something that I throw on the television, see how the ball's moving around, and might take a live stab.
All right. So the next one up is I have a play on the Red Bull versus Vancouver game, and I took Vancouver team total over a half here, -160. So I'll tell you, I know the Red Bull have only allowed one goal at home, but Vancouver has only allowed one goal on the road, and they've scored in all their road games so far. They've actually scored in the last 5 overall. And the Red Bull have allowed goals in 3 out of their last 4 games at home and overall, and they've drawn 3 out of their last 5 as well. So, it was a concern for me that Vancouver is tough. They have shown that they can play, against the best in the league right now, and that their defense is top notch. In their last 5 games overall, they've shut out 2 of the last 3. 1 home, 1 away, in addition to only allowing 1 goal on the road. And, they've scored multiple goals in the last 5. Yeah, 4 out of the last 5, they scored multiple goals. So I think they're good for a goal here. And I think at -160, this is a gimme.
I think both teams to score could definitely come in. If you think that Vancouver is going to score, then I really like what the Red Bulls are doing as one of my top 5 teams, I'd say, in the MLS right now. They're really putting it together as a team, very fluid front to back. We'll see if that continues. I'm interested. I think that both teams could score because they can still give up a goal. This is the MLS. Both teams to score are coming in at 64% of the time. So we're already looking at 64 out of 100 are going to hit both teams to score. And if you think there's an edge there, then maybe we take a stab, which is why you see a lot of our picks the way that they are. But I like this. It should be very interesting. I'm ready to see how New York continues to play, honestly.
Yeah. New York was a team that I was really crapping on to start the season, and they have proven me wrong time and time again. So, yeah, definitely going to be a good one. Next up, Orlando City is taking on Toronto FC, and I have 2 plays for this game. I took the Orlando team total over 1.5. And I took Toronto team total over a half. I didn't want to play both teams to score here because it is a concern for me that Toronto may not score in this one. And I think both of these prices are reasonable enough to play it. If you wanted to play both teams to score, yes, I wouldn't be mad at you. But I think Orlando is good for a couple of goals here. Toronto is very leaky, does allow quite a few goals. And Orlando, is another team that has really confused me to start the season. They've drawn 2, won 2, lost 1 their last 5. At home, they've drawn 2, lost 1, and won 1. They've seen both teams score, yes, twice, so 2 out of the 4 games, but they had a 0-0 draw and a 2-0 victory against Austin. So I feel like this team is just all over the place. I do think, though, but at home, this was my dark horse for a good playoff run. So I still think that they have the pieces. They just need to put it together. And we've seen Toronto, the last 2 road games, they gave up 3 goals and 4 goals. So that's why I think Orlando is good for a couple here. If you go back even farther, they let 2 goals to NYCFC. And then before that, they beat a New England team that hasn't done much in a 0-0 draw versus Cincinnati back in February. So, I usually would play both teams to score in this situation, but for this and those reasons, I just couldn't. And I think that it's both worth a shot.
I'm not touching Toronto with a 10-foot pole right now. I'm out. I don't like what they're doing. They're finding shutouts. They're on both sides. Who knows? Whenever they're on the field, I don't even know what's going to happen. There's no pattern of play. It's just weird. They have some good front players and no midfield. It's strange.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's why I wanted to play it separately, because I could see them not getting on the board here. So I thought it was a safer play to split it up. So I just have one more. I'm going to this Nashville versus San Jose game, and I took both teams to score yes here. It's at -148. We've seen Nashville allow the teams to score in their last in 4 out of their last 5 games at home. We've seen it in 4 out of the last 5 at home as well. And San Jose, they haven't scored in their last 2, but going back before that, they scored in 3 straight on the road. I get that they aren't the greatest team. They've not won, but they have scored in every single road game so far this year. They've also allowed multiple goals in every single road game this year. So I would take a peek at Nashville team total over 1.5 as well. Not official for me yet, though. But I do like the both teams to score yes here because the fact that, we've seen Nashville give up a number of goals. I mean, they've lost 3 out of their last 4. To enter Philly, they had 2-2 draw versus Columbus, a 5-0 loss to LAFC. The last team they beat was Charlotte, who isn't the greatest team in the world, and they were at home to do it. So, I think pretty easy handicap here, and that's why I like both teams to score yes in this one.
Well, both teams to score makes sense. Both teams to score is coming in 7 of 9 for San Jose, and with Nashville, it is 6 of 8. So hitting about 75%. But what you mentioned about the team total, so you dig deeper. Sometimes you're like, oh, I like both teams to score, but why would you like over 2.5 goals? Well, San Jose, they've hit over 2.5 goals in 8 of their 9 matches this season,
Yeah.
And Nashville have scored. Nashville have scored 2 goals in 3 of 8. So on the surface, it may not look that great coming home, but San Jose, they're giving up goals for fun. I watched them play last time out. I was texting with one of my friends about it, and they're just not very good. They have a lot of young players. I think Nashville should capitalize. This should be a high-scoring game, given how San Jose plays. They're just constantly open for people to penetrate. Whether or not Nashville take advantage of that, that's what remains to be seen. But there will be so many opportunities there. I'd pay attention to this game live.
Yeah, for sure. One reason why I like San Jose on the road here for a goal is because they never say die. If you know the team saying, they never say die. They will, if they are down, they will always try to get a goal. They will never try to let themselves get shut out. So a lot of these are like consolation goals that they've been getting, like late in games and stuff. So I really do like them for the both teams to score here. So that'll do it for me. Why don't we go ahead and recap our best bets?
Awesome. I got 4 best bets this week as I attempt to go 7 straight weeks of profit. I'm very excited about that. So let's go dive straight in. We have Austin versus Los Angeles Galaxy. Both teams to score over 2.5 goals for -138. We have New England versus Miami. I took Miami on the draw no bet line at -152. Philadelphia versus Salt Lake. Both teams to score. I got that at -160. And Los Angeles Football Club, LAFC versus Portland. Both teams to score at -140.
Awesome. And where can people find you online? What do you got going on?
You can find me on X at Bradley L. Jacobs. And that's pretty much where I post most of my statistics, most of all the things that you really want to know and follow. I have a lot of really cool leagues around the world that are hitting at really consistent rates, and we follow daily. So come in, have a follow, and let's cash some tickets.
Honestly, I would just put your notifications on for him, because I do, and then I'll just screenshot the facts and I just save them in my phone as stats and stuff that I use. So you should definitely give him a follow. It'll probably be the best decision you made today. I'll go ahead and recap mine, and we will get you guys out of here. I am on Galaxy team total over 1.5. Austin versus Galaxy, both teams to score yes and over 2.5. Crew -1, Crew team total over 1.5. Colorado team total over 0.5. Vancouver team total over 0.5. Orlando team total over 1.5. Toronto team total over 0.5. Philly team total over 1.5. Philly versus Real Salt Lake, both teams to score yes. Nashville versus San Jose, both teams to score yes. LAFC team total over 1.5. LAFC Portland, both teams to score yes. And LAFC Portland over 3 goals. You guys can find me here every day on the NBA and NHL Betting Insiders. Of course, there'll be a new Betting the Pitch Europe tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for TJ's In 5, his daily best bet show in 5 minutes or less. It comes out every morning right here. You guys can also find me as the new senior basketball writer for Last Word on Sports and senior NFL writer at GiveMeSport.com. I want to thank Rhythm. Make sure you guys check them out. Sign up for the predictive sports betting app that will teach you all you need to know about model building. That'll do it for us here at the MLS Betting Insiders. We will see you later. There she goes, baby, let's go.